We get showcase numbers. We go to perfect game tournaments, man. We get these numbers that aren't a real life performance, man. We got dudes doing 1-6 pop times at 15, 16 years old, man. Give me a break, please. If this video pissed you off, good. You see this on TikTok, you see that on YouTube, you see the D1 player doing this, you see this guy doing this on Instagram. What are we doing? TikTok drills and random hacks. That is not the way that you are going to practice correctly and put forth level 10 results. Look, you're not as good as you think you are. And that's exactly why you're stuck. Not because coaches don't like you, not because there's politics, not because you're under-recruited. You're stuck because your standards are low, your self-awareness is weak, and your view of your own talent is completely delusional. I know that stinks. It's supposed to. Every week I meet with players who swear that they're D1 material, but they don't train like a D1 player. They don't compete like a D1 player, and they definitely don't handle failure like a D1 player. And you know what's even crazier? Most parents have no idea how far behind their kid actually is because nobody in this game seems to tell the truth anymore. But I will. If you want to play at the next level, your habits, your consistency, your toughness, and your self-awareness need a reality check. So today, I'm going to give you the kind of truth that wakes you up or exposes you. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Ian Miller. I was a 9-hole hitter from Little League all the way to the big leagues, and the 9-hole is where the next generation of underdog champions are built. Let's talk about why players stay stuck and how to actually get better. Let's hit on, first and foremost, the delusion gap. This is why players think they're actually better than they really are and why they're insanely wrong. Number one, it's because players compare themselves to the wrong competition. Kids compare themselves in Little League to their other Little League compadres. Fucking compadres, dude? What are we talking about? Compadres. I don't even know where I was going with that. Compadres? That's a little racist. All right? First and foremost, let's talk about the delusion gap. This is why players think that they're actually better than they really are, and quite honestly, why they're wrong. First and foremost, it's comparing yourself to the wrong competition. When we are coming up in rec ball in Little League, we aren't playing players against players. Fuck, I'm thinking now. All right? Redo it. Comparing yourself to the wrong competition, first and foremost, can give us a warped reality of who we are, what our talents are, and if we are as good as we really think we are. We're comparing ourselves to little leaguers, kids in rec ball, kids that pick their noses and then throw a spitball across the diamond to first base, 18 hop, nowhere near the bag. We are comparing ourselves to those guys. We're comparing our rec ball stats, and we're comparing that to actual real baseball, right? If you hit 396 against a couple dweebs that really don't know the game of baseball, that does not equate to being good. We are comparing ourselves to the wrong competition, and we are getting the wrong feedback there. Every single player has a different timeline. Every single player has a different journey. What's going on, guys? I wanted to interrupt real quick to bring attention to a financial literacy piece that is a must-have for you in your baseball career or your son's baseball career or your player's baseball career. This is called the Money Playbook. So this teaches financial concepts and gives financial literacy and financial topics to baseball players and athletes, whether you are a professional, whether you are a college athlete, a student athlete. Man, nowadays we understand that NIL money is prevalent. NIL deals allow baseball players, allow college athletes to use their name, image, and likeness in order to get paid. We know that college scholarships are increasing and, roster limits are being tinkered with, and there is money in today's game, in today's landscape of college athletics. So check this book out, The Money Playbook. Go check it out over on Amazon. You're comparing yourself to players who don't want what you want, don't have the same capabilities or tools as you, and definitely don't have the same hunger as you. Why compare yourself to them? Every player has a different timeline. Every player has their own individual race. Make sure you're running your own. Let's talk a little bit about this delusion gap further. We have talent inflation. Okay, we shave a tenth of a second off of our 60. We're saying we run a 6.5 when we really run a 7.1, right? Suddenly we're a D1 prospect. We think that we are God's green gift to earth, especially at the next level. We inflate our numbers to fit the story that we want to believe, that we want others to believe. Because we're doing that and we're painting this picture, we start getting entitled. We start feeling deserving. Now we're starting to feel like we're the diamond in the rough. Guess what happens when we start to think that way and we have this talent inflation? We start getting that woe is me attitude, that woe is me mindset. Okay? You aren't who you say you are. You're who your habits say you are. It's important to understand. We got that talent inflation, right? That comes after comparing yourself to the wrong competition. Then we get effort inflation. We think that moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour equates to growth, and think that if we're just doing every single drill that we see and we're hitting until our hands bleed, that all this motion means that we're going to be really, really good. Well, fellas, I hate to break it to you. If you work on the wrong things more than anybody else, you are going to be a worse baseball player than anybody else. Even if you're moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour, okay? Just because there's movement, that does not equal growth. If the same is true if you put in the bare minimum effort. If you put in the bare minimum effort and level 6 practice and level 6 effort, of course you're going to get the bare minimum results. You're going to get level 6 results. Players say I'm working hard, and it's really not hard work unless you're putting forth that work for years, okay? I'm working hard doesn't matter if it's not over years and years and years. We talked about this 1% better idea. If you can stack those days over 4 to 6 years, that's where we get great. Prolonged effort is what ends up compounding for us, fellas, not the short glimpses or these short bursts, okay? The last evolution of this after the effort inflation is going to be the result inflation. We get showcase numbers. We go to perfect game tournaments, man. We get these numbers that aren't a real life performance, man. We got dudes doing 1-6 pop times at 15, 16 years old, man. Give me a break, please. Crazy inflated stats, result inflation, man. We got hitting bombs in a perfect game, showcase environment or in the cage, right? This is fake confidence. This is the result inflation we're talking about. Players hit one tank, they ease off the gas, they use it to confirm what they thought all along, that they're a dude, right? And then they convince themselves that they're good enough already, right? Let's take our foot off the gas, dude. We're entitled. We should be here, right? They had this entitlement with zero proof. You're not being overlooked. You're being outworked by the truth. Now let's talk about some no BS truth that nobody seems to be teaching. Okay? These are the real reasons that players end up falling short, and for whatever reason we're not hitting on it enough. Number 1, you are not consistent enough even if you think you are. Anybody can be an A+ or an A- on their best days. We talk about MLB The Show. Dude, you can have a picture perfect day, make a couple nice plays out in the field, hit a couple stingers and go 3 for 4 and show glimpses of being a dude, show glimpses of being an A player, okay? Anybody can do that on their best days. You're not consistent because you don't show up on your worst days. Who are you on your worst day? When you can't put the ball in play, when you're grinding to hit the cutoff man, when you have an absolute brick for a glove today, you got an A12,000 and there's a hole in it. Who are you on your worst day? Can you be a C+? Can you be a B- consistently on your worst day? What does that even out to? You're going to have more worst days than you're going to have perfect days, right? So if you're an A player on your best days and you're a C+, B- on your worst days, maybe that evens out to an 85, an 84, an 82 and a half. If you have an 82 and a half, 83, 84, 85% consistency, guess what? You're recruitable. Sorry about it. Number 2, no BS truth. That's for whatever reason nobody's teaching, man. You can't handle adversity, dude. You don't handle it. You don't handle it. You get on the hot streak, you're freaking unstoppable. You hit that cold streak, you come back down to earth, man, you're unbearable. Your woe is me, you shrivel up at the end of the bench. Come on! This is the emotional roller coaster we are talking about. You're a terrible teammate. We're going to have more bad days than good days, so we're going to be a terrible teammate more often than not. That's not good. You feel more than you perform. That is not going to be the secret to success, fellas. That is not going to be how you are going to be able to handle adversity, especially at a high level consistently. Number three, you don't practice correctly. You don't go about your business the right way like a level 10 is supposed to be doing. You want those results, but you have a shotgun trading approach. You see this on TikTok, you see that on YouTube, you see the D1 player doing this, you see this guy doing this on Instagram. What are we doing? TikTok drills and random hacks. That is not the way that you are going to practice correctly and put forth level 10 results. If you practice like a 6 and you're surrounded by 6s, guess what your results are going to stay at? They're going to stay at level 6, dude. You don't practice correctly, there is no precision. If there's no precision, there can't be any progress. You're crazy. Number 4, the fourth no BS truth that for whatever reason we aren't seeing enough of is players aren't understanding that you are not coachable. You're taking feedback as attacks. These coaches maybe want to help you. They want to call something out. Guess how you get better? You got to get called out and start at ground zero in order to build back up. You take feedback as attacks. You're hard-headed. You're defensive. You're entitled, right? What coach wants a project with an ego? None that I know. None that I've played for. Okay? Lastly, you don't stand out. You blend in. You're trying so hard to be like everybody else that you just disappear. You're just lost on the bench. If you don't stand out, if you train like everybody else, you are everybody else. If you are everybody else, guess what your results are going to be like? Everybody else's, man. Coaches don't recruit excuses. Coaches recruit difference makers. Important to know that. Now let's talk about the moment that I realized I wasn't good enough. It was 2017. I had just gotten called up for the first time. I was lighting the world on fire in AA in Arkansas, right? And I'm playing left field. I just got called up. All eyes are on me. I'm one step away from the big leagues, dude, and I drop a ball in left field like the first day that I was up there. Ball over my head. I'd run back to the fence, and then I pull up because I'm not necessarily used to how AAA balls fly, the field, all this stuff. The wheels are spinning. I'm nervous. Ball drops on the track. A Major League Baseball player was pitching there up and down, and that's how he feeds his family. And here I am dropping something on the track, a routine fly ball. I'm starting to think, dude, maybe I don't belong here. Maybe I'm not good enough, right? And then this is the first time, like all of a sudden the game started feeling faster. I was fast my whole life, and now the game is so sped up. It feels faster than me. It feels faster than I'm able to even process anything. That same thing that happened my freshman year, 2010, 2011, 2010 and 11 season, right? Freshman year, I'm playing dudes like Pat Late at Monmouth. I get a reality check. I'm opening up against Division I down south in like Winthrop and Elon and stuff. I end up hitting 231 my freshman year. I get the doors blown off, dude. I get a reality check. I find out, man, maybe I'm really not that good, right? These guys are throwing 100. We got Rutgers and Seton Hall and these Big East teams, St. John's throwing mid-9s. I felt behind not only mentally, I felt behind physically. Everything's moving quick. I remember like opening series, man. We're playing Winthrop, and I'm playing left field. We're playing at Elon, and there's a runner on second base, and it's like the third or fourth inning. I'm playing left field. There's a ground ball in the 6 hole, and I'm coming up, getting ready to make a throw home, and I took a knee. I took a knee to field the ground ball with a man on second base running from second to home. I took a knee. I came up and I threw, and I tried to throw him out at home. I had no idea what was going on. That runner that hit the ground ball in the 6 hole went right to second base. This is like the first game that I'm playing Division I baseball. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Zero awareness, zero IQ. That's when I found out that my game IQ wasn't nearly as ready as I needed it to be, nearly as ready as I even thought it was. Okay? Players, I played with a plethora of players. I played with so many players. I'm so grateful, right? Players that should have made it, that didn't. Players that did make it, that absolutely had no business being there. But man, I saw a lot of delusional baseball players, a lot of foreign-born baseball players that were loud, right? That were able to take insane batting practice, that were these big fishes from these small ponds, and they come over here, and they ended up shrinking when it mattered. They were entitled. They came over here with some signing bonuses. They came over here expecting it was going to be easy and giving it to them. And they expected the organization that selected them, signed them, drafted them, whatever, paid them to adapt to them. For me, I got to the big leagues because I fit a mold, man. I was trying to be that guy off the bench for a playoff team, that fourth, fifth outfielder, the pinch runner, defensive replacement. I needed to fit that mold for a playoff team. These guys needed that team to adapt to them. That's not a recipe for success, okay? I saw players who were delusional, and it ended up teaching me that the game does not adapt to you. It's important to understand that. Players who I shared a locker room with and that were like legit when it came to this was Jason Kipnis, Ian Happ, guys on the Cubs. It absolutely blew my mind. Jason Kipnis, pro as hell, right? He had a big league personality, man, and he was professional head to toe. When it was time to get after it, he got after it. Had a good belief system, man. Just needed to do what he needed to do, right? Played forever, had a ton of success. We got guys like Ian Happ who are still doing it. Ian Happ was insanely legit, insanely professional. It was almost robotic, right? He was insanely prepared. His standard never changed depending on the situation, depending on what he was hitting for the month, depending on all this stuff. These guys were true pros. It was all identity. It was less ego. The day that you admit that you're not good enough, you get rid of the ego, is the day that you start becoming good enough. Now, let's end this bad boy on a high note and let's talk about how to actually get better. More specifically, the anti-delusion blueprint. Okay? There are a couple steps here, fellas, and let's start easy. Step number 1. If you want to actually get better, you need to measure everything. This is no fabrication. You need to measure and map and track everything. What is your 60? What is this? How hard do you throw, man? What is the base layer stat and projection here? No fabricating, no lying to yourself. How in the world can you build a foundation if the base layer is fake? Stop lying to yourself. You want to get better, you need to measure everything. Step 2 is you need to identify one deficiency, one flaw, attack it, make it serviceable. You're not going to build Rome in a day. You're not going to build a tool, 80 grade max on a 2080 scale in one day. Take a deficiency and make it serviceable. Then, when you have your bearings, your understanding, that base layer, make it efficient, right? You might need 10, 20, 30 hours of focused work, but that 10, 20 hours of focused work beats 200 hours of random work moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour doing the shotgun approach, okay? The robot. Step number 3 here, if you actually want to get better, is you have to fix the flaw daily. This is the 1% better theory, right? 1% better every day gets you great in 4 to 6 years. If you want to be great in baseball, you need to stack 1% days, 4 to 6 years worth. Right? Not 4 to 6 good years. I'm talking about 1% days, singular days, stack those 4 to 6 years. You have to attack pain points head on. You can't shy away from that stuff. The sooner that you are able to wrap your head around the idea that growth is discomfort, the sooner that you start trajecting upwards. You go quick as well, all right? If you actually want to get better, you actually want to make strides, step number 4 is you need to seek the uncomfortable truth. We talked about in the last step being able to attack this head on, but you need to be uncomfortable. Think about comfort. Think about where you're at right now. Comfort is what got you here. Comfort is what got you stuck. Truth is going to be what exposes your gap. You need to attack that gap. You need honesty. You need honesty. Not a bunch of love, not a bunch of hype, and a bunch of pats on the butt, right? You need uncomfortable honesty. Step number 5, the last crucial step in becoming good, right? You actually want to get better, is you need to build one elite tool. Fellas, all it takes is one elite tool. It can quite literally change your life. All it takes is one tool on one day, in one instance, one game, one happenstance in front of one coach, one random person in the crowd, and your life can change, right? Without one elite tool, without the ability to do one thing better and different than everybody else, you're hoping. You're competing, you're wishing, you got the fingers crossed, right? That's not going to get you to the next level. It's definitely not going to get you better, okay? One elite skill can change everything, but you've got to build it. If this video pissed you off, good. It means you're finally hearing the truth. You're not being held back by politics, man. You're being held back by your standards. The minute that you close the gap between who you think you are and who you actually are, your entire baseball life changes. Not everyone becomes elite, but everyone can become elite compared to themselves. Start there. Appreciate you being here. Keep grinding.